Ji-hyun Jong looks at the waiter who is holding a photograph and asks if he sees it, stating that the man in the picture is him. With some curiosity, he asks whether the lady beside him had come with him. The director's assistant agrees that it looks like him, but Ji-hyun reflects that the face appears very blurry. He then thinks about the person who was with him, since she was wearing a white shirt and had long, straight hair. He asks the waiter if he can take a picture of the photo, and the blonde man nods. After that, he thinks that in the end he really did have a girlfriend, and he can't believe it. Maybe, in truth, he wants to deny it, since he now likes another woman. He thinks of her, Jung-oh Lee, that she has a daughter and that he had a girlfriend, and wonders if they are now even, and whether he truly has any reason to keep holding on to that resentment from the past. Elsewhere, an assistant asks Jung-oh Lee if she feels better and says the meat pie was very good. The woman replies that she's glad they liked it. Then the assistant mentions that they even found a photo of the director from 7 years ago on the restaurant wall. The image wasn't in good condition, but the owner remembered the director. That leaves Jung-oh Lee stunned, and she wonders if he really remembered a customer from 7 years ago. The assistant says yes, and that he even called him by name. It seems that even foreigners find the director handsome, and it was clear the owner thought highly of him. But the director remembered nothing since he had lost his memory. The woman reflects that it's a relief she took the photo and didn't go to the dinner because she doesn't want to imagine what would have happened if she had. Work soon begins, and afterward, Jung-oh Lee reflects that 7 years ago she came to Australia with hopes of learning English and earning money. However, she couldn't work in jobs that involved dealing with people. Her salary wasn't enough to pay the rising rent or buy groceries, so many days she went without eating. In a memory, a young woman lends Jung-oh Lee $20 and she thanks her, saying she'll repay it as soon as she gets paid the following week. While running to buy something to eat, she thinks this could happen again and that she must be frugal, so she'll buy cheap ingredients. But while crossing the street, she bumps into someone. She apologizes and keeps going. Somewhere along the way, she thinks she's out of breath from running, but now she'll be able to buy some rice and potatoes and maybe a pack of ramyeon. However, when she puts her hand in her pocket, she doesn't feel the money. She wonders where the cash is and questions whether it might have fallen when she bumped into the man. She looks for him but can't find him, and wonders what she should do now, since that was all she had. She tells herself that everything always goes wrong for her. She grows a bit depressed and says she wants to return to Korea. Then the man from before approaches and calls out to her. He asks if she is Korean and explains that they bumped into each other at the crosswalk a while ago and that he wanted to check if she was hurt. When she hears him speaking Korean, Jung-oh Lee becomes so happy she cries. That's how she met Ji-hyun Jong 7 years ago. She remembers that back then, Ji-hyun was somewhat naive, but also considerate and kind. He didn't talk much, but he was fun. In the present, she thinks her daughter inherited that side of him. Just then, someone calls her. When she answers, it's Yena, who greets her mom and asks if she bought her any gifts. Her mother asks what she would like to receive. The girl says she wants a kangaroo, but Ji-hyun tells her he can't bring her one. Yena explains she means a kangaroo plushie because she likes them. Curious, her mother asks why, and the girl says it's because they have a big pouch, and kangaroo moms carry their babies there. She says she wants to become a little kangaroo so she can get into her mom's pouch. Her mother can only think how adorable that is, and says that if she behaves, listens to her grandmother, and doesn't miss kindergarten, she'll bring her a kangaroo plush. The girl happily agrees. After that, Jung-oh Lee looks at the photo for a few seconds. She reflects that she may never see him smile like that again, since Ji-hyun Jong changed, just like their relationship did. She adds that the memory no longer belongs to them and remained frozen on that restaurant wall. So she will return the photo. While walking toward the restaurant, she thinks about how it's cold there, while in Korea it's summer. While she was going through a long, cold winter, he was lost in a summer that seemed endless. However, she stops when she sees Ji-hyun Jong across the street. She wonders why he always appears in front of her at moments like this. The signal changes, allowing them both to cross. They pass each other, but before they go their separate ways, Ji-hyun Jong grabs her hand. He asks if she plans to keep avoiding him and how long she intends to continue. He wants to know where the bold Jung-oh is, the one who called him hers. The woman pulls her hand free, and after a long silence, he says she needs to apologize to him. Confused, Jung-oh asks why. Ji-hyun says she claimed she lived with her mother, and Jung-oh wonders if he thinks she enjoys lying and pretending to be single. She questions why he's bringing this up here, where they first met. Jung-oh starts to cry, and seeing that, Ji-hyun asks why she's crying. He says he should be the one crying since she lied to him, and she asks why she isn't allowed to cry too, if it's her right. The director asks her to at least tell him why she's crying and why she feels bad about lying to him. She says she won't say anything and explains she's crying because he's acting just like her idiot ex. Angry, Ji-hyun says she has no idea how bad and selfish she is with him. He bombards her with questions. Why bring up her ex? Why provoke him from the start? Why ask to be his friend? And why accept his kiss? He asks whether she wants everything to amount to nothing, and whether she thinks avoiding him and saying hurtful things can erase what happened. He says that's impossible. He can't do that anymore, so he tells her to decide now. He hands Jung-oh a card and says that's his answer, and that his goal in coming to Australia was always this. He tells her to come only if she wants something serious with him, and not to even think about spending one night with him and then leaving. Because if she comes, he'll never let her go. At the company building, Eun-bi asks her boss if she feels better, saying she was worried. The woman replies that she does. Then the young woman reports that Jung-oh took all the credit for the job before she went into surgery. The team leader says it's fine, explaining that Jung-oh handled the presentation and deserves the recognition. Eun-bi insists that it was still an overseas shoot and an important trip, and even the clients came. They must have been worried since only low-ranking staff were sent. Then someone adds that's exactly why the director traveled yesterday. They ask if she didn't run into him and say she probably didn't hear anything about it. Hearing that, Eun-bi wonders if Ji-hyun went to Australia and is now with Jung-oh. After throwing in that poisoned remark, she turns away and says she's relieved the director also went, since the clients will feel more at ease with him there. She adds that she'll head out now because she needs to print some documents. After she leaves, the team leader tells Eunju that the couple separated recently and that Jung-oh was very cruel. Her coworker shrugs it off, saying that's just how she is, honest and blunt. Elsewhere, Eun-bi asks her brother whether he's doing the task she requested. Angrily, she says Ji-hyun went to Australia with Jung-oh. She complains that Jung-oh has a daughter and is a single mother, and claims she's surely trying to seduce Ji-hyun. Eun-yab begs her not to do anything and not to interfere. After hanging up, he thinks that brat is driving him crazy. He clicks on a report about Lee Jung-oh. He sees that she is 29 years old, a copywriter, and a single mother of a 6-year-old girl. He starts to think that Jung Ji-han lost his memory 7 years ago, and if the child is 6, it's possible Lee Jung-oh got pregnant before the accident. He believes Ji-hyun still doesn't know anything about it. He's sure of that. Still, it's only a matter of time before everything comes to light. First, he needs to find out whether Ji-hyun's mother knows about the child. In Australia, the director congratulates his workers for their hard work, but then looks at Jung-oh. He pauses and remembers that she didn't come to his room the night before. He admits that he went to the restaurant to ease his loneliness, but found nothing that helped. When he returned to the hotel, he ran into her just as he was trying to remember what he had lost. He reflects that she runs from him, lies to him, and loves saying hurtful things. He knows that's how she is, but also that she lives chained to the past, which keeps her from the present. He feels the urge to tell her how foolish she's being, to make her see everything she's losing. He no longer cares about the past he can't even remember, only the present. He silently asks her to look at him and stop pushing him away. At the Baduk Academy, Dobin asks Yena if she wants to go to his house today, explaining that his mom will bake bread. The girl says she doesn't want to. He asks why, and she says her mom hasn't come back from her trip and isn't even answering the phone. She grows sad and says her mom abandoned her. After that, Jung-oh receives a call. When she answers, Yena speaks in a sad voice and asks why she didn't call, saying she was worried. The woman apologizes, explaining she called a bit later and the grandmother said Yena was already at kindergarten. But the girl says that if that's the case, she should have called the kindergarten. Jung-oh apologizes again and asks if she was very worried. She tells her not to cry, to be good with her grandmother, and to behave well. She adds she'll be back soon with gifts. After the call, Jung-oh reflects that she needs to get closer to him because their daughter is growing up very fast. Still, she must be careful about revealing that secret. Before that, she needs to find out who is behind everything. She thinks that if only she could investigate Ji-hyun's mother, or at least see his phone. Then the same assistant from before calls her and thanks her, saying they were able to finish the full shoot successfully and won't need to stay until dawn. Jung-oh is glad. The assistant adds that they'll wrap up at 10 at night and she can go rest. Jung-oh says okay and tells him everyone did a great job. She then reflects that she has 6 hours before her flight back to reality. She wonders what she'll do with that time. That night, in her room, Jung-oh gets ready and admits she hasn't invested time or money in herself because she was busy raising her daughter and surviving. She wonders if he will still think she's pretty. After getting ready, she steps out and slowly walks down the hotel hallway, feeling a bit nervous. She knows that once that door opens, her life will change. She wonders whether she should ring the bell. Even though he gave her a key, he might be with clients. She decides it's best to knock, and if he doesn't answer, she'll turn around and leave. She knocks softly, but no one answers. Then the door begins to open. It's Ji-hyun. Before Jung-oh can say a word, the director pulls her inside the room. In that instant, the copywriter reflects that deep down, she had been waiting for this moment all along. Because right now, she is being welcomed with a kiss. While they kiss intensely, Ji-hyun suddenly lifts her without warning. Looking straight at her, he asks if they're only going to kiss. He starts carrying her in his arms while Jung-oh protests that she can walk on her own. But Ji-hyun can't wait. He's already drunk with desire, and each kiss is more provocative than the last. At one point, Jung-oh asks him to wait. He says he will, but she soon sees him taking off his shirt, something she ends up doing as well. She then asks if he's okay. The director asks what she means, and the woman says she's talking about his accident injury. She asks if it hurts, since it looks deep, and the man answers that he's fine. Curious, Jung-oh asks if he still hasn't recovered his memory, and he replies by asking whether she would like him to. She says yes, because those are 3 years of his life. Then she asks what his life has been like over the past 7 years, and adds that losing your memory is like losing yourself. But he answers that, as he once told her, his life is boring. He then asks if she's only going to touch his scar, and tells her there are many other things she could touch. Jung-oh pulls her hand away, while Ji-hyun smiles. He thinks he suggested she touch other places, but she chose to withdraw instead. Then, in one movement, they shift onto the bed. Ji-hyun keeps thinking that she will never understand the desperation with which he explores her body, because he cannot explore her mind. He admits he wants absolutely everything from her. Meanwhile, at Dobin's house, Seungkyu Park gathers information with a few clicks. He reads all the data he has on Lee Jong-oh. As far as he knows, she is 29 years old and nothing stands out, except for the fact that both she and her mother were single mothers. She lives a routine life, home to work and then to her mother's restaurant. She also recently went to the hospital to visit her superior. He considers her responsible and hardworking, but wonders why Ji-haeon asked him to investigate her. Then he notices something and wonders what it is. He reflects that Lee Yena is Lee Jong-oh's daughter, and questions whether his son's first love is Jong-oh's child. He tells himself it's too much of a coincidence and can't help wondering if she approached Ji-haeon on purpose, using her daughter. He wonders what he should do now. The next day in Australia, Jong-oh wakes up and, seeing her beloved in front of her, thinks she was frightened because for a moment she believed she was dreaming. She woke up in the arms of a broad-backed man. She gets up and, while getting dressed, looks at him. She reflects that when he sleeps, he looks like an angel, but when he's awake, he's so bad and sexy. She keeps watching him and wonders if she might be dreaming because she's afraid of waking up and having everything disappear. She wishes she had shaken his mind the way he gave her a restless night, silently asking him to remember her. Before leaving, she looks at her phone and thinks it's time to act. She tells herself she needs to find out how close he is to his mother. That way, she'll know whether he would believe her more than his mom. She thinks she'll just check something quickly. But before she can take the phone, Ji-haeon wakes up and asks if he woke her. Startled, she answers that she thinks she has a lot to organize. After that, Ji-haeon suggests they go out together, but the copywriter refuses. She needs to shower and change and prefers to do it in her own room. The director gets up and, hugging her, asks her to shower with him. Jong-oh shivers when she hears it, though she thinks he's always been like that. Even so, she has to leave. She gently pushes him away and says she's exhausted. He asks if she's very tired, and she says yes, thinking it's not entirely a lie. With a quick move, he tucks her into bed. He checks the time and says there's still time. She can rest a bit more while he takes a quick shower. He leaves his phone on the table and goes into the bathroom. Jong-oh gets up and thinks this is the moment. She quickly walks to the phone and reads the messages from Ji-haeon's mother. She reads that she wishes him a good trip and asks what he'd like to eat when he comes back. Her son replies that anything is fine and that he'll visit when he has time. In the end, they both say, "I love you." After finishing, Jong-oh puts the phone back on the table. She thinks he answered "I love you" as if it were normal, something he never said to her. After his shower, Ji-haeon comes out, calls for his guest, and says that if she's very tired, she can stay a bit longer. But no one is there. He walks to his phone and reflects that she seemed to want to check it. He thinks he should have let her. Still, he can't help wondering what she wanted to find out. Elsewhere at a bar, Yoonbi asks for another drink until someone arrives and takes her glass, saying she's drunk and shouldn't drink more. The woman asks who he thinks he is to do that. The man replies that he's worried it could harm her, which clearly moves her. She wonders if anyone in her life has ever worried about her. At Dobin's house, Seungkyu Park tells his wife he wants Dobin to stop going to the Baduk Academy, since he isn't learning anything there anyway. His wife replies that even if it's little, he's learning something. But he says he's worried that Dobin is also taking care of Yena, and that it must be exhausting. She answers that it's nothing, and besides, Dobin loves playing with her. Since the monthly fee is already paid, they should at least let him finish. Dobin then appears and asks his mother if he did well washing his hands after pooping. His father tells him he won't be going to Baduk classes anymore, and that he'll enroll him in the soccer academy he likes so much. But the boy asks what will happen with Yena, and his father says she'll follow her own path, just like he will. Still distressed, Dobin asks if he won't be able to see her anymore. His father explains that his mother makes a big effort to take them both to the academy and that he'll soon have a little sibling, so he must behave like an older brother. Dobin asks whether the two of them could be separated, and his father asks why that would happen. The boy answers that he wants to know why he's being told to separate from Yena and why he's being forced to do something they themselves can't do. He throws a tantrum, declaring he won't quit the Baduk Academy. Elsewhere, someone greets Onyab and says it's been a long time. The man agrees and asks how she's been. The lady says she's well, but Jihaeon is traveling. He says he sees him often and not to worry, since he actually wants to ask about the property she mentioned earlier. She invites him to sit and mentions that Jihaeon casually told her he broke up with Eunbi, asking if it's true. Eunyob replies he doesn't know if Jihaeon said that, but it's common for them since they often break up and get back together. She understands, and the man explains that Eunbi told him that even while separated they stayed in touch. Jihaeon's mother says she's never met a girl so devoted and pure and doesn't understand why he broke up with someone so good. The man says that now that she mentions it, he wants to ask something. Whether she remembers if Jihaeon had a girlfriend when he had his accident 7 years ago. Curious, she says he knows him well. Eunyob asks her not to worry. It will stay between them. She explains it wasn't serious, not even a formal relationship. She says it was a strange girl who chased him, that she spoke to her personally and made things clear, and they had no further contact. Eunyob smiles slightly and thinks she knows nothing. She asks whether Eunbi knows about it, and he says no. It was probably just temporary. Jihaeon's mother says he's always been like that. His friend adds that even if she wants to defend him, she knows he's different, and mentions the rumor from 4 years ago about girls who claimed they'd been with him. He explains he couldn't make Jihaeon come to his senses because he was suffering so much from memory loss, but Eunbi managed to. He says she is and will be the only one capable of keeping Jihaeon steady. He takes a sip of tea and reflects that although they seem close, they actually know nothing about each other. At the airport, a man congratulates Jong-oh on her good work and wishes her a safe return home. She thanks him and wishes him the same. With everything ready, the copywriter wonders if the bus stop was there. At that moment, a car appears and Jihaeon steps out. Seeing him, she asks what he's doing there. He replies that she said they would meet. She clarifies that yes, but in Seoul, not Incheon. She adds that she can carry her suitcase, but Jihaeon tells her to get in quickly if she doesn't want to be seen. Once in the car, both remain silent. Then Jihaeon looks at her and asks her to tell him everything she told Ki-hoon too. She's confused, and he explains it bothers him that Ki-hoon knows more about her than he does. Jung-oh stays quiet. Then Jihaeon comments that talking about past relationships to provoke someone is a bad habit, which irritates her a little. Even more when he says he now understands why she never had a serious boyfriend and that she should know he is a very patient man. She asks if she can't tell him about her ex because she wants him to know everything. He replies that he'll make her life miserable every time she mentions him, but Jung-oh insists she still wants to talk about it. She then asks what his family will say when they learn they're dating, meaning his parents. Jihaeon answers that he'll tell his mother personally, so Eunbi can't get ahead of him. He says he won't let anyone mess with her and tells her not to worry. The woman asks how she can trust what he says, and he replies that she just needs to wait and see him act. Jung-oh asks him not to say anything to his mother, but he assures her that if he doesn't, Eunbi will say it first. She then asks him to make sure Eunbi says nothing and asks if he can do that. He strokes her face, making her more uneasy, and finally confirms that he can. She tells him to stop and asks why he can't stay calm for even a second. He replies by asking why she can do whatever she wants and he can't. She answers that it's because she's in charge. In the afternoon at Dobin's house, the boy is still crying because he wants to keep going to the Badok Academy. His mother says he's been like that all day and asks him to calm down. She then complains to her husband that she doesn't understand why he has to quit if he has fun with Yana and they're good friends. He says he doesn't want her to make double the effort by taking Yana too. She explains that she'll handle taking them back and forth and tells him not to worry. She also wants the truth and asks whether he simply doesn't want to keep paying the fee. She asks him to answer. He suggests they talk alone and takes her to the room. Jin Seo-an asks what's going on. Sungkyu Park reveals that Yena's mother is named Lee Jong-oh and that she is an advertising copywriter at his company. His wife is glad and says it's a coincidence, asking why it shouldn't be. He explains that Jihaeon likes her. Jin Seo asks whether the director didn't have a girlfriend named Eunbi. Sungkyu says no. That relationship is a front, and Jihaeon actually has feelings for Miss Lee. His wife asks what's wrong with that. He explains that Miss Lee is a single mother and hasn't told Jihaeon. Jin Seo asks if the director requested they stop associating with Yena. Sungkyu says no. The director doesn't know Yena is his daughter, only that she is a single mother. That's why he's worried Jihaeon might truly fall in love, because they can't allow Jihaeon to be in a relationship with a single mother. Then his wife calls his name with a serious expression. Jinseo An states that if Jihaeon likes her, nothing else matters. She challenges her husband, asking who he thinks he is to judge her without knowing her. She declares that Yena's mother is a wonderful woman and that he fails to see it. She admits that even though she has a husband and her parents are alive, the thought of having another child terrifies her. Meanwhile, that woman had and raised Yena alone. She asks if he has any idea how hard pregnancy and childbirth are for a woman. She tells him to tell Jihaeon the truth and to stop interfering in his affairs. He is also not allowed to hurt Yena or her mother because she will not permit it. She also forbids him from making their son cry. Meanwhile, with Jihaeon, he asks Jung-oh if she's very happy to be home, and she confirms it. She adds that it's because she missed her daughter very much, and the man reflects that he can't complain seeing her so happy. She then says she'll get off there because it's faster to walk to her house. The director understands and says he'll help with her suitcase. Jung-oh thanks him. When she gets out, she takes her luggage, thanks him for everything, and says they'll see each other the day after tomorrow. Jihaeon thinks she's so happy to see her daughter that she doesn't even realize they won't see each other for more than 2 days. When she arrives home, her daughter runs to greet her while her mother calls out, "Princess Yena!" The girl admits she missed her a lot, and her mother says she did too. She then asks if she already ate, and Jung-oh says she ate a lot on the plane. Yena asks about her gift with sparkling eyes. Her mom takes a kangaroo plush out of the suitcase, making the girl even happier. In return, the little girl shows her the drawing she made. Her mother asks if it's the two of them and says it's beautiful. The girl says no, they're kangaroos, and her mother says they're adorable. At the office, someone asks Jihaeon if he has arrived. He thinks his friend must have finished the investigation and hopes he won't say that Jung-oh is still seeing her ex. Although he believes that ex could be the child's father, he says it no longer matters. His friend knocks and, upon entering, asks how the trip went. The director says it went well, which makes him glad. Jihaeon immediately asks whether he found out anything and whether she is dating someone. Seungkyu Park says no, and Jihaeon asks about the child's father and her ex-boyfriend. Seungkyu says he couldn't get much information about him. Jihaeon comments that then everything is fine, but Seungkyu adds that there's something more important and asks if he remembers Yena, Dobin's friend. He explains that she is Miss Lee's daughter. He clarifies that he didn't know at first and that his wife told him Dobin was the one who approached her, and since Yena is very smart, she wanted them to be friends. He says they can rest assured that Miss Lee did not use Yena to get close to him and that his wife is certain of that, though he doesn't know how Jihaeon will take it. Jihaeon replies that he already knew, leaving his friend confused. He admits he couldn't stop thinking about her. He reflects that she is adorable and that now he understands why. Mother and daughter are very alike. He then asks his friend for help with something. At the Guksun restaurant, Jung-oh's mother asks if it isn't her day off and tells her to go rest. Her daughter replies that she didn't want to leave her alone and will help until Yena goes to the Baduk Academy. Later, Jung-oh goes with her daughter and greets Dobin. She explains that today they will all take a taxi together to the academy. The boy greets her and thanks her for taking him. On the way, Jung-oh receives a call. It's Dobin's mother. She answers and says they're almost there, but the woman explains she's calling to ask a favor. Jung-oh tells her to go ahead. The woman asks if she remembers her husband's friend she mentioned before, who became close to the children. She says yes, the man who played Go with Yena. Jinseo An confirms and adds that he was on a business trip and bought gifts for the children and wants to give them in person. The copywriter says that's not necessary, but Jinseo insists they were bought especially for them and she can't refuse. She says she understands it might be uncomfortable and asks if she could meet him, since he's near the academy. She also thought it would be a good idea for them to meet. Jung-oh thinks she'll just meet a friend of Dobin's father who likes Yena, and that it will be a simple greeting. She recalls being told he's handsome, though she doesn't give it importance. She agrees and says she'll wait with the children. Jinseo says she'll let him know. Yena asks what's going on. Her mother asks if they remember the man who came to Dobin's house before. Yena asks, the boy says yes, the uncle who plays Baduk. Jung-oh confirms and explains he'll come see them soon. Yena asks why, and her mother says he has gifts for them. Both children get excited and ask at the same time if it's true. Jung-ho confirms and tells them to wait there. At that moment, a car approaches. Jung-ho recognizes the vehicle. The man gets out and the children run to greet him. He says it's been a long time since they last met. Jung-ho is left speechless. She thinks she always imagined that moment would come someday, like a wish or a dream. Yena greets him while Jung-ho reflects that this scene always faded when she opened her eyes, because she only ever dreamed it. The moment when father and daughter would meet.